and we're coming up on the Princeton Pike exit. Now, what is that all about? This is the road. This is, no matter what you see, okay, this is the old road for the Red River campaign into Camden, okay? Pine Bluff was a very important place, and so was this town called Princeton, which you probably never heard of or seen, and maybe we'll get to today. If not, eventually we will. I go through it quite a bit. I have land a little south of it. Okay, Princeton was the capital of Dallas County, which had a lot of cotton slaves and all that, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos, or at least I hope to, about that. So we're going to pull on to Princeton Pike and head towards Dallas County. Actually, we'll be going into Grant County first. And this is a really old road. I have a map from 1860, I think 1863, 1864, something like that. And this is absolutely on it. Now, so that explains what the Princeton part of the road is. It's not a great road anymore. I don't know if it ever was. But the pike, a lot of people don't know what pike means. And in the old days, the roads that were called pikes you would encounter literally a row of pikes on it that was a toll. And so it's basically a toll bridge with that you had, not a bridge, but a toll bar that you had to go through, pay the man, and then they would remove the pikes, and then you'd go on. And the purpose of all that was that it paid for the road and keeping the area going and whatnot, and it probably maybe made the man some money, much like a ferry, which we'll maybe see a little later. So we're headed on Princeton Pike, and this will eventually get us to a little south of Sheridan at a place called Crossroads. And that I don't even know how long it's called Princeton Pike. I think after a while this will end up being maybe 35, I think. Anyway, you can find it on a map, and it will turn into Grant 8, and we'll take Grant 8 towards Jenkins Ferry, where that battle occurred. There is not a whole lot on this land down here, so let's enjoy it for a little bit. But I don't know. When I run out of stories, I'll probably, we won't sit here and watch all 10, 20 miles of this road. Let's see. So I explained what a pike was. I've explained a little bit of the importance of Princeton. I'll talk a little bit more about Princeton. Princeton, before the Civil War, had I believe there was a women's college there, and there was a men's military institute in Tulip, and I'll do a whole lot more on both of those places. So this was all very important back in the day. This was one of the main roads through southern Arkansas to get cotton to the river and that sort of thing. So this was very, very important. There's an old cemetery. Those are where the jewels are. I'll tell you what, you can find a lot out. I'll talk about this every time, probably. The family histories, the histories you even will read at cemeteries. Take everything with a block of salt. We really do. I want to just emphasize that, because there, we always say, the victor writes the history. Well, down here, the victor didn't write the history really, but the victor left. And so, anyway, you'll run into some things that are just absolutely not true, or just an embellishment of things. And so anyway, we'll encounter some of that along the way. All right. Anything of importance? Oh, I know what I can talk about. I can talk about my grandfather and Grapevine. I'm headed a little bit towards Grapevine. I'm not going to go there right this minute. There's not much to see anymore. But you can Google this. This is although it's getting a little harder to find the good stories on this, but if you can find the article from like the Arkansas Democrat, I think at the time, or some of the old papers, they're just, it's a really fabulous story of what I would consider a mass killing. And it started down here in Grapevine. And If you Google it, you'll actually find Killing House Road. I believe it's Grant 25, and it runs through Grapevine. And the house is not there. I don't know what became of the house. It was being built, and back in those days, this was, I believe this was 32, 33, something like that. My grandfather was very young, and he was there. He was from Dallas County. And what it was there was a dance held in this house that was being built. It's much like a barn raising. So they had the house in the dry with the roof on it and all that, but it wasn't finished. And to raise money to help finish the home, they had a dance there. And I think this was not